we're That Lazy Couple, and today we're going to, today I'm going to give you a bit of an update on where we're at since the second gender identity clinic appointment that I had on the 9th of February.
Yeah, if you remember, we did a video of me asking you questions about how, what was your expectation for it. So now obviously...
And fears.
Yeah, and now obviously you had your appointment, you had some new information. Yeah, so we're going to discuss what happened since then. It's been a couple of weeks, so...
Yeah, so the appointment was in the afternoon.
Yeah.
With Dr. Penny Lenihan. I had done a bit of research, or tried to do a bit of research on her before the appointment, trying to work out what people thought of her, what sort of things she would ask, that sort of thing. I couldn't really find any information about her, actually. I don't even think I found a picture of her online, which is a little bit odd. So I was a little bit nervous as to what to expect, whether she would be nice, friendly, etc.
Yeah, obviously going to an appointment, especially one that's so important like this, you're already feeling like anxious about it. You want to know how it's gonna go. But yeah.
And in the previous video, we said how Bruna was really excited and I didn't seem to be excited at all. Mostly due to the fact that I was incredibly nervous and worried, and there was quite a bit of anxiety there as to, what's going to happen. And that feeling didn't go away. I didn't feel excited at all, I don't think. Even in the 2 minutes before the appointment, I was still really sort of having a bit of anxiety about it, not really knowing what to expect. What if this happens? What if this doesn't? And I think that sort of spoiled the run-up to the occasion, I guess. Because you would think, after waiting so long, that you would be excited and everything. But it was more of the overriding emotion was definitely anxiety and nervousness, for sure.
Yeah, and then you went on your appointment, and what happened?
Yeah, so I think it lasted about an hour. Obviously she introduced herself to me, told me what her position was in the clinic. I believe she was she's the head psychiatrist, I think. Because Mr. Thunders, who I'd seen before, is the psychologist, who was great. So we sat down, bit of an introduction, and we pretty much went over the same stuff. How long I've been feeling trapped in the wrong gender, the first sort of memories of the dysphoria, my family structure, whether my parents and siblings knew, friends and obviously family, colleagues at work, so all to do with the support structure that I had. In my previous appointment, my parents did not know, so it came out unexpectedly, basically.
We can do another video on that.
So we had the appointment, we're talking about my support structure, what I have there, what sort of transition I've done by myself, change my title, obviously the name change process for everyone.
The way you were perceived at work and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the, what is it called, the real life experience or something like that, where you basically come out, not that that term doesn't really make sense, but basically you present yourself in the gender that I am, using the pronouns that I am, him, his, he pronouns, obviously the social transition rather than a physical transition, basically, the real life experience and everything else. And she discussed how long I've been doing that for, how long it was ago since I went through the deed poll process to change my title and everything. And when I first sort of told people about it, how school was for me, and how people reacted when they found out, things like that. Sort of the overall feelings of dysphoria, where they come from, what she basically asked me, what do you not like about your body, What do I like about my body? Obviously, what I don't like about my body is the traditional female characteristics, like the chest, the bit of fat around the hips, the size of the hips themselves, sort of like the traditional female figure, I guess. And what I did like about my body, which was my eyes. I think that's my best feature. Moved on to what I want to get out of the GIC, which is obviously I want to transition. And my version of transition, because everyone's is different, mine would be taking testosterone to bring about a more traditionally masculine appearance, including facial hair and the voice deepening and things like that, and obviously fat redistribution. Also going through chest surgery and eventually hysterectomy and phalloplasty. And she said that she believed that I'm a very good candidate for the full transition. And there was a little bit confusion in the appointment, because she said, "Yep, you can go on testosterone. That's fine." Signed a
that was
agreement.
the bit that you were expecting the most, to see if she was gonna
recommend that I go on testosterone. She started talking about, she made me read and sign a shared care agreement, which basically means that myself, the GP and the GIC all have obligations that we need to fill to ensure my safety and my health and mental health as well.
Just reminding that you were doing these through NHS.
Yeah.
So
and also she mentioned the type of testosterone I would be on and the dosage, approximate dosage, and the approximate sort of dates that I would be taking it. For example, I believe it's Sustanon 250 milligrams. It could either be every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks, or maybe even weekly, depending. She went through my old blood tests, which were from 2014 or 2015.
15, I think.
2015, which she said were pretty much out of date. She would think that the endocrinologist would prefer some more up-to-date blood tests, just in case that there's anything else going on in the background, and also to obviously establish my baseline hormone levels to further sort of get the proper dose for me.
Yeah, so they can see where you're at and what do you need.
Yeah.
Because I believe that you start on a lower dose and then
they see how your body reacts to it, and obviously if they start you on too high a dose, then my body would produce estrogen to counteract it, and then that would put me in probably a worse position than I am now. For example, she basically asked about, basically it came up about sort of like fears and of regrets and things like that. My response was basically, in like my whole of my life I have felt like this, and it's never felt any different. Not once have I thought, maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe this isn't me, but literally thinking about it, I don't think there would ever be any regrets at all. I don't think I would ever detransition. Obviously I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I believe that transition is the only way forward for me to become aligned with who I am on the inside and outside. So she said that I would be in the perfect position to start taking testosterone. However, she would prefer me to have some blood tests first. So she gave me a form to take to Charing next door and have some up-to-date bloods done. And then obviously she said to me, basically, once I've had the blood test and they get the blood test results back and they're able to review them, they would then send out a letter to me and my GP in the post recommending that I start testosterone as soon as possible. She also said she wanted to give me an appointment for about 7 months' time, with the view that I would be on testosterone already for 6 months before that appointment, because it would be sort of like a top surgery consultation, and they require
so that process from having the blood test done and then actually prescribing the testosterone would take about a month,
because then they would need, it's a requirement. Well, maybe requirement's too harsh a word, but it's like a requirement that they would want you to be on testosterone for a period of 6 months before that top surgery consultation to give your body the time to adjust, to make sure that you're not pushing yourself too hard and too quickly, so you've got time for your brain to catch up, so there's less chance of any mental health issues, I guess. And I was pretty excited, you know. I turned around and said, right, so by the time I have this appointment, I should be on testosterone for at least 6 months. She said, yeah, no problem at all. The appointment pretty much finished about there. She booked me an appointment for September the 4th, I think, which was at that time about 7 months away, just under. So I was thinking, wow, I was pretty sort of surprised that, you know, geez, I'm going to be on testosterone really quick, like within a month. That's really good. I started to feel a little bit more upbeat about it, a little bit more excited, and that's where I really felt that excitement. And then when I got out of the appointment, I was telling Bruna all about it. She got excited, it got a little bit emotional, we started celebrating a bit. And then, so I went home thinking, oh, this is good, and I didn't want to upload a video until I got that letter. Now,
it's been about, what, 3 weeks? I think it was 3 weeks on Thursday.
Yeah, it was
Today's
3 weeks.
Saturday.
3 weeks on Thursday, and I've basically been watching the post. Every time I come home, I'm looking. Oh, is there a letter? There hasn't been a letter.
When he's at work and I'm home, and he's like, "Has the post come yet?" And
no. So
hasn't.
I was starting to get a little bit apprehensive. So last week, I think I started chasing my GP to see if they've received anything. They hadn't, and the last time I contacted them was yesterday, and they said no, we still haven't received a letter. So I thought, you know, maybe there's a problem. Started to get a little bit worried. So I tried calling the GIC a bunch of times in the last 2 weeks, haven't been able to get through. Yesterday, I thought...
they are notoriously known to being very difficult to get through anyway.
Yeah.
So
obviously because of the delays due to funding and all the rest of it, they are quite difficult to get hold of at sometimes. So I got hold of them yesterday, spoke to a lady on the phone, told her the situation, told her when I had my appointment, what I'd been told by Dr. Lenahan, and she told me that they are still processing letters for appointments that took place in January.
Yeah, so
that's like a 2-month delay now.
Yeah.
So as soon as she said that, my heart sank, and I thought, I guess this appointment I won't be on testosterone for 6 months. So then I said to her, well, you know, can you give me an approximate timeline of when I could expect to receive the letter? And she basically said no. She said,
well, they don't want to compromise to...
Yeah, but still an approximate. You could at least say it could be around this much, but it could take a little bit longer. That's better than saying, no, I can't give you an approximate timeline. Because even if it's like 3 months down the line, at least you know it's 3 months down the line, and you've not got that when's it going to happen sort of feeling. Now, she did say if I haven't got the letter within 3 weeks to contact them again, which sounds even worse, because then by then I'm definitely not going to meet the target anyway. So as soon as she said that, I was really disappointed.
I guess one of the reasons for this video is because obviously you got excited, you're gonna be on testosterone anyway, like even if it's delayed, and like fair enough, in a way we already know that NHS has loads of delays in whatever situation, but the main thing about this video, I think that what we're trying to put out there
is the transparency.
Yeah, the transparency about the real situation of these letters, and also the impact that it has in people's lives.
Yeah. Because,
like, fair enough, it's gonna take a while, but you need to let people know so they can prepare themselves for that, and not say, oh yeah,
you'll get it in a month. You'll be on you'll have your injection within a month. Oh no, you're probably not going to get the letter for another month.
Because now that's even worse, you know. It's like you had the expectation of getting that, and now you won't get that.
Well, at the end of the day, I was led to believe that within a month I'd be on testosterone, and it's been 3 weeks and I haven't even received the letter. But I could maybe not even receive the letter in another 3 weeks, and that's if they get round to sending it out. Maybe there's more delays, who knows. So then your mind starts to think, well, if I haven't got the letter in 3 weeks, if I get the letter in 3 weeks, then it's probably going to take a week or so before I can then make a GP appointment, because I don't want to make the GP appointment if I haven't got the letter, because what's the point?
And then once again, it's not necessarily about the delay in the wait times, because we know that process take time, and they do need that time to have everything in order so you can get the prescription.
Well, no, for me it is about the time, because I was told that I would be on testosterone for 6 months before this appointment, and I have to be on testosterone for 6 months before this appointment, and it's not happening.
No, I agree with that, but what I mean is, you're not complaining necessarily about how long it takes, it's more about how badly...
Well, they need to be honest about it. If they said to me, look, we've got some delays, we're still currently working. If they told me in the appointment, look, we're still working on appointment or HRT letters for January, I'd have been like, okay, maybe not book my appointment in September like you've suggested, maybe book it closer to December. Because then at least I know by the time I have that appointment that I will be on testosterone for 6 months.
So we're not... I say we because I'm part of your journey as well.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's not with me, I'm like watching you go through this. So you decided to send them a letter, just to, you know, say,
experience
listen,
my frustration and
we are here, we are waiting. It's not fair, all this wait, when it's something so delicate.
It's a letter. How long does a letter take to write? Do you know what I mean? How long does this letter take to write and send off to my GP and send off to me? It's something so trivial that, and it's always something that's so trivial that seems to be obstructing me, you know? And I don't really know what else to say. I mean, at this moment in time, I'm really confused as to what to do with my appointment that's been booked in September. Because,
well, if you're watching this and you have any sort of experience with the NHS and the delays and all that, please drop us a comment so we, I don't know, can have like a
little support network. Somebody else's opinion, somebody else who's maybe been in this situation, maybe you're in this situation now, and you know, we can sort of lean on each other for some advice. If you've got any comments or suggestions or any advice, feel free to leave a comment in the below box. Feel free to join the Facebook support group that I'm an admin of. It's called Trans Connection on Facebook.
So yeah, if you check back with us in a couple of weeks, hopefully we'll have some more information to what's going on.
Yeah, maybe Dr. Penny-Lanahan comes back with something, with maybe some advice, maybe an explanation, just to let me know what's going on, or you know, maybe I'll finally have received that letter. So yeah, check back with us. I'm sure we'll do another video as soon as we've got some news. If you like the video, leave us a like. If you've got any comments at all, any suggestions, any questions, an opinion, or maybe some advice that you can give me, maybe you've been in the same situation, just leave us a comment below. It'd be much appreciated. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.